At that time, I had seen an ad in the paper. They were choosing people that were going to give them a course in making programs for, what would it be, for computers? Not for computers, programs to work on problems. So they wanted math majors, so I figured I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to go and see, because I had time. And I used to go, I think, 3 afternoons a week, about 5, 6 o'clock. And that day, I was going to New York. It was winter time. I remember that because one of the women and I used to go out for a cup of coffee in between, and we went out without coats. It was so cold, it was terrible. We only had to go across the street. And all of a sudden the train stopped. So that happens occasionally, your train will stop. And we're sitting there and waiting and waiting. And finally they announced that there's a shortage, something happened with electricity, and we're stuck. We're on the bridge going from Brooklyn to Manhattan. And there was a woman sitting next to me, or close by, and she lived on Bedford, which is 25th Street, near Avenue U, and there was a young girl, of course, there. Her name was Meryl, I remember it. And she lived in Brighton Beach. And, we were talking and talking, and finally, by some emergency thing, they were able to pull up across so that they were close to Canal Street, so that the first car of the train, if you were on it, you could get on the platform at Canal Street. Everybody wanted to get to the telephone. It was Canal Street station to call, home. So we had to wait our turn, and when I got to the booth, there was a young black man, and he was lighting matches so that you could see the dial. And I called your mother. I think I called Grandpa. No. I called your mother, and she was home, and your dad was with her. They were not married yet. And I told her to call Grandpa and tell them that I'm at the Canal Street station. And then we stood around and we waited, and we waited. It's a good thing I didn't have to go to the bathroom, I'm telling you. But anyway, finally he's standing and waiting, and all of a sudden I hear his voice, and he's calling me. So I was able to, this woman stayed with me, and I told this young girl, Meryl, she was maybe 15 or 16 years old, I said, you stay with me, so I was afraid to leave her alone. And he came, Grandpa, and we went out in the street, and there was a moving van who had to come into Brooklyn. That was the main office on Coney Island Avenue, all the way down. And he said anybody who's going into Brooklyn, he would take in his truck, it was empty, and bring them into Brooklyn. But we all had to stand and hold on. So I made sure that Meryl stayed with me, because I worked with her, I tell you the truth. And he took us to Cortellia Road, you wouldn't know where that is either, and Coney Island Avenue. But at that point, there were cars. These two young men, they were 2 young men, maybe in their early 20s. They said they would drive us if we paid them each, we were 4 people, $1. And they would take us, 2 of us lived in the same area, and the girl lived down in Brighton Beach. And they drove us we went down Bedford Avenue, which is 25th Street. This woman lived off Avenue U on Bedford Avenue. So she dropped off first and explained to us that she didn't have $1, and she left us. That's what I'm trying to, all kinds of people, right? So Grandpa said to the boys, don't worry, I'll pay you the $1. We lived just around the corner, around Neck Road and then down 24th Street. And I said to Meryl, they wanted to take her home too. I said, no, she's coming with us. I was afraid. So I said to Meryl, you come with me. We came in our house, and your mother and dad were there, and I had her call her parents in Brighton. They didn't say they're going to come and get her. We took her down to Brighton Beach. And her mother said thank you to me, and that was it. So we paid the $4. We paid the $4. But, you know, and I still remember her name. Would you have left that girl there alone? No. With 2 boys?
You were right.
I don't trust people that much.
I want you to get together. 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 Put your hands together one time. I want you to get together. I want you to get together.